So over the last month, I probably looked at 500, 600 resumes. What are common things that we see? I don't want to call them mistakes, but common things that I see on resumes that make me pause. So I thought now might be a good time to share how, if you have one of these things that would make me pause, how you can address those to hopefully get a better job or whatever. I grew up and am used to name and contact information at the top. Then if it's a professional resume, your professional experience, and then your education. If it's an educational resume, meaning you don't have that professional experience yet, you have your educational qualifications and then any sort of internships or whatever you have below that. So one of the first things we see are big gaps. I worked here, I didn't work for 3 years, and then I got a job in a completely different field. And then we look at the years and we're trying to see, were you in school for those 3 years? Did you do something else? In your cover letter, say, hey, during those 3 years, I had a sick grandma and I went to Iowa to go take care of her. Hey, cool. We might think that makes you the kind of person that we want to hire because all our clients are injured, but give that explanation if you're comfortable with it, rather than having an employer go, that's weird, maybe they were in jail. The second thing that sort of goes along with that is, instead of gaps, if you are jumping job to job to job to job, you're at a job for 3 months, then 9 months, then 6 months, then 6 months again. I look at that and I start to worry on this person's resume, is it everybody else or is it you? So once again, if you have a way to explain that before you even get to the interview, because you might not get an interview if you've jumped in my world, 6 different law firms in 3 years, explain, hey, I started at this law firm. I then got a great opportunity. Somebody was willing to pay me more to do the same job. I got to that law firm. Somebody came around and said, we'll pay you even more. And I was like, holy crap, I had to. It was so much more money. But then that law firm wasn't what I thought it would be. So I went to this other law firm. That partner retired. So they said, look, we don't need you. And here I am looking for a job from your law firm. At least it's some explanation to your story that you don't have just from a 1-page resume. So do that. The other thing is, if you're worried about your school, maybe you didn't go to a prestigious place, maybe you didn't go to any school, that's the last thing that I look at. If you are applying for a job that requires some experience, I don't care where you went to school. Another thing I see is, if you've been out of school long enough to have a job, so you've graduated or you stopped going to school and then you get a job, your school should be at the bottom of your resume. Your resume should be a professional resume. It should go professional experience at the top. Then it does maybe any training, specific training you have. I have a paralegal degree. I have this, I have that. And then your educational history is the bottom thing. The farther you get away from your graduation date, the less important your schooling is. I'll tell you something that I think is a mistake. Other people may disagree with me. Here's what I think, take it for what it's worth. I don't like an about me section. I like golfing and boating and French literature. Like, I don't want to know that stuff at that stage. I want to learn that organically. Does it hurt you? No. But if you have a section that's 3 lines that has your interests, your hobbies, yeah, that's great. But I would hope there's 4 sentences that you can put maybe about your previous experience that will make you a more attractive candidate. I've never looked at a resume and been like, French literature? Gotta hire you. I certainly have looked at resumes though and said, wow, this person did a really good job of not just giving nonsense 1 bullet point, 2 bullet points for their job experience. They've really explained what they did there and how they want to apply that here. And I've been impressed by those resumes. I think your real estate on your resume is valuable, and I don't think you should be putting your hobbies in it. You're a lawyer and you like to golf? Cool. Let me introduce you to every other lawyer who likes to golf. Like, that doesn't set you apart on your resume. We are a law firm. We are not a creative agency. I'm not looking for how many colors can you fit on a page, how many different fonts can you use, or use what I would say is a resume that's probably for like a tech company or a marketing company. Can you make a chart in the top right corner and then a table in the bottom left and whatever the hell else? See what I know? A chart and a table I think are the same thing, and I just said they're different. So I'm looking for your basic, easy resume that it's easy for my eye to follow, because as I look at all these resumes, I'm trying to do it in an efficient fashion. So if I'm looking at this crazy resume, does it make me stop in my tracks? Yes, it does. But does it irk me that I then have to figure out, okay, where is this person's professional history? It takes me an extra second and I don't love it. I don't like when people send pictures of themselves, and I don't love the idea of seeing you. No offense. And I don't love the idea of you putting your picture. I don't know what the point is. Do you think you're attractive and you want me to see that? I don't get anything from your picture. Are you young? Are you old? Like, none of that matters to me. In the valuable space you have on your resume, a picture just does nothing for me. I think it's helpful if you have an interview to bring your resume with you in case, maybe somebody joins the interview on the employer side that maybe just doesn't have a copy and you give it to them. They can get a quick snapshot of who you are. I mean, there's no downside to it. It's kind of like the waiters at the restaurants who don't write things down. If a waiter takes my order and writes it down and then it comes comes out wrong, I'm like, oh, they did everything they could. Probably wasn't the waiter's fault. I worked in restaurants while I was in college, usually giving the benefit of the doubt to the waiter anyway. But if you come to my table and you take my order and you don't write anything down, you're just sitting there and there's 9 people at my table and you're doing the mental, I'm so cool, I know what everybody's getting, and then somebody gets something wrong, my first reaction is, should have written it down, asshole. It's like, once you're hired, if you come in my office and you don't have a yellow pad, I don't care if I was just going to tell you a one-word answer or ask you a question where you didn't have to write anything down. I'm still looking at you like, where's your yellow pad? Because when I was growing up in this world, in the personal injury world, in the law firm world, you always had a yellow pad in case someone gave you something. But if you're coming in naked with clothes on, meaning, but nothing else, I can't deal with it.